1, 2, or 3 parking tickets, which will get you the boot in the city of Durango. A California businessman plans to resurrect the old Helen store on County Road 240, and we unveil a new Furry Friends feature with the Plata County Humane Society. Stay tuned. You're watching Inside Durango News. I'm Ashley Dixon.
You're watching Inside Durango News, your source for information about Southwest Colorado. Powered by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs.
The sound of music will fill the mountains with the start of the 28th annual Music in the Mountains Festival, scheduled to begin on Monday, July 14th. The festival begins with a free chamber music performance by the Mana Quartet, starting at noon in the lobby of First National Bank of Durango. Then, on Monday evening, faculty for the Student Conservatory will perform at 7:30 at the First United Methodist Church. The two performances are among 24 classical and contemporary concerts scheduled for the 3 weeks in July. Music in the Mountains began in 1987 at Durango Mountain Resort. Founded by Misha Szymanski, the premier festival featured 5 concerts and 11 musicians. Now, 27 years later, the concerts have grown to showcase the talents of over 220 world-renowned musicians. Israeli violinist Vadim Gluzman is one of the biggest names at the festival, and executive director Andy Beach said his appearance is a special treat for audiences.
Vadim Gluzman is really world-renowned. It's actually quite incredible that we're able to bring him to Durango. You don't want to miss out on his performance at the concert hall on August 2nd. But prior to that, he's going to be performing kind of a repeat performance with Philippe Quint, and both of these guys are so amazing. They are going to do like this violin duel, and they did it in 2006. People are still talking about it. People have been asking us to bring it back. So here we are, 8 years later, and we're bringing it back. And it's this Can You Top This dangerous performance, and we're calling it Fast and the Furious. And it's almost sold out. So, you know, if you haven't got any tickets, now's the time.
In addition to a full festival lineup, the students enrolled in the Music in the Mountains Conservatory show off their musical talents, directed by new artistic director Matt Albert.
You just don't want to miss these young people and their performances around town. One of the cool things that Matt's doing this year is he's bringing the conservatory down into town off of campus. So they're going to be performing at the First United Methodist Church, as well as Rochong Recital Hall up at Fort Lewis College. But they're also doing pop-ups, so I can't tell you exactly when and where, but definitely be on the lookout, because they're going to be all over, like at the farmer's market. Okay, I gave you a tip. But you're going to see a lot more, I think, community interaction between Music in the Mountains Conservatory and the community.
For a full schedule of events, tickets, or more information on individual musicians, you've got 3 options. Head to musicinthemountains.com, call 385-6820, or visit the Music in the Mountains office at 1063 Main Avenue. In the past, it was 3, then it was 1. Now it'll be 2 unpaid parking tickets that'll get you the boot. The City of Durango's parking division announced earlier this spring that it planned to boot cars after only 1 unpaid parking ticket. The announcement kicked up a storm of criticism from residents who called the decision a bit draconian. At a study session on June 24th, the City Council decided to make the 2 outstanding tickets instead of 1. But don't worry about finding your vehicle booted before you've paid your fine. The city promises to send you a notice about your unpaid tickets before they immobilize you. Starting in August, if you fail to pay your fine within 8 days of getting a ticket, the city will send you a notice. If you continue to let the ticket slide, you'll get another notice after 28 days. Your vehicle will get on the boot list after 34 days. And the longer you wait to pay your fine, the more expensive it gets. The initial fine is $12, an increase of 30% over last year's fine of $9. After a week, the fine doubles to $24, and after a month, it doubles again to $48. And if you get the boot, you have to pay your fine and a $50 boot fee. If you wait until you're booted to pay up, you'll wind up forking over a minimum of $146 for just 2 parking tickets. Better to pay as soon as you get a ticket. You can do it online at durangogov.org or at the City Transit Center. After the break, the Mercy Foundation wants 1,000 thousands.
Stars in your eyes. Stars.
Yeehaw!
Ride 'em, cowboy.
Experience the heritage of the Old West. It's the new and exciting True West Rodeo in Durango, every other Wednesday throughout the summer at La Plata County Fairgrounds. Cheer real cowboys and cowgirls as they test their mettle with bronc busting, bull riding, barrel racing, and more. Authentic Western halftime shows, Native American dancers, Wild West gunfights, and special performances honoring military and emergency response personnel. Visit TrueWestRodeo.com for ticket and schedule information.
At Alpine Bank, we are making connections and partnering with those in our community. We are creating and developing strong relationships and using a hands-on approach with our friends and customers. At Alpine Bank, we're sharing life every step of the way. Together, we're moving beyond banking. Alpine Bank. Experience the difference. Conveniently located in downtown Durango and Three Springs.
A long-awaited hospice residence at Mercy Regional Medical Center is $1 million closer to reality with a $500,000 donation from a private donor and a $499,000 community development block grant from the Colorado Department of Local Affairs. Mercy Health Foundation Executive Director Karen Midkiff said the two most recent contributions bring the campaign fund to $3.3 million, with only $1 million to go. But there's a catch. The foundation must raise the final $1 million before September 30th. That's the deadline that was set in place by the Department of Local Affairs as a condition of accepting the grant, Midkiff said. The proposed $4.3 million facility will be the one and only of its kind in southwest Colorado, and with the area's aging population, it can't open soon enough.
This is the main hospital here. This would be the entrance to the hospital. And it's just around the corner, if you will, right up here, a few hundred yards from our housing project, which is Mercy Housing, in this little yellow spot here. And the concept is to keep it more residential. There's a huge gap in hospice services. We have a home hospice program right now. There's a distinct difference between home hospice and inpatient hospice. Home hospice provides great care, but it's maybe an hour to 2 hours a day. For those patients that need serious care, the hospice residence is what's going to provide that. There is no place like that now available in all of southwest Colorado. The closest facility is in Grand Junction. We're faced with a huge population of baby boomers. The majority of the patients that use a hospice residence are over 65. So we need to be prepared for that wave of folks that are going to need it.
The conceptual plans include 12 home-like rooms, and each room will have access to an outdoor garden to give families a place to retreat from their vigil. The gardens will include a children's play area, a grassy lawn, a zen garden, and a patio with a water feature. Midkiff says the residential hospice will offer respite care for up to 10 days at a time. Acute inpatient care will be available for those times when a family can no longer provide complicated medical care for their loved ones, and it will provide long-term residential care for 3 to 6 months. The long-term care most likely will serve those residents who do not have family in the area, Midkiff said. The foundation has hired a construction management team to begin pre-construction planning. In the meantime, Midkiff and the Mercy Health Foundation board are pounding the pavement to raise the last $1 million before September 30th. And to finish the campaign, the foundation has established the $1 Million Club.
So we have our $1 Million Club that we've just kicked off. And we want the entire community to feel like they can participate. So you don't have to give $1 million to join the $1 Million Club. It's $1,000. We need 1,000 people. And with that, they can get this sweet little pin that commemorates that they have supported this great project.
Donors to the $1 Million Club may write a check, use a credit card, make a pledge, or opt for monthly deductions. To become a member of the $1 Million Club to support the residential hospice facility, visit the Foundation's website at mhffnd.org. A longtime landmark called Helen's Store is about to get a makeover and a new life. In June, the Plata County Planning Commission approved a conceptual plan for a 5-acre parcel of land at the junction of County Roads 240 and 243, where the iconic Helen store is located. The plan calls for a liquor store, convenience store, and eventually a restaurant. Helen's store is named for Helen Burkett, a pioneering cattlewoman who was born in 1906 and lived her entire life on the family ranch. She opened Helen's store in 1936 to help support her family through the Depression. She worked at the store until her death in 2003. She was 98 years old. The store and 5-acre parcel remained in the family until 2007, when it was purchased by Donald and Nicole Hutchins of California. Donald Hutchins first came to Durango in the early 1970s to hunt elk in the La Plata Mountains. In 1974, he discovered Helen's store and fell in love with the location. Every summer for the next 33 years, he asked Helen to sell him the store and the property, but she never relented. Then, after her death, he continued to contact her descendants until they finally sold him the property to realize his life's dream. In an interview by phone, Hutchins said he plans to keep Helen's store as a landmark and will preserve the original ranch building still on the property. He will build a new liquor store first, and he hopes to open it by the end of the year. He expects to move the original Helen store to a location farther south on the property for a convenience store. A restaurant with a deck overlooking the Florida River completes the plans. Hutchins is an engineer who owns and operates Hutchins Manufacturing, a family business established in California by his father 60 years ago. The company manufactures air compressor tools for the automotive industry. Hutchins has 34 patents in his name. For more information about the Helen store development, download information from the La Plata County Planning Department website at co.laplata.co.us. Macaroni and cheese. It's a simple dish that's the go-to meal for busy moms and college students nationwide. But on June 28th, mac and cheese came out of the proverbial closet and donned quite an array of unusual toppings and ingredients for the Mac and Cheese Festival at Durango Mountain Resort. 11 local restaurants and hotels competed in noodle to noodle to determine which recipe would earn the top cheese award. The event was organized by American General Media, which owns radio stations throughout the country. In Durango, American General Media operates the Point radio station, 99X, and KDGO Talk Radio. Jessica Beatty, AGM's Corporate Events and Marketing Director, told Inside Durango News how the festival came to be.
The Mac and Cheese Festival. We've been in existence for about 3 years. We started on the central coast of California in Paso Robles, wine country. We've trademarked it recently this year. We're on tour nationally, benefiting Children's Miracle Network. As you can see today, there's heaps of people, about 1,500 people here today in Durango.
Now, some of you may be wondering, of all the foods in the world, why mac and cheese? Well, American General Media is a radio company, and Guglielmo Marconi invented the radio. Beatty said one day it just clicked and the Macaroni and Cheese Festival was born. The festival's special guest was the aptly named Big Al Mack, one of the hosts of the national radio show Kid Craddock in the Morning. We caught up with Big Al, and he told us just how great the idea was.
This is my first Mac and Cheese Festival, but it won't be my last. I'm thinking about franchising this myself, actually, and spinning off and making a broccoli cheese festival, maybe a cheese and cracker festival, some Cheez-It festivals I could see in my future. Maybe a Ritz cracker and cheese festival, wine and cheese festival. The possibilities are endless.
A broccoli and cheese festival? Stay tuned. The entries were quite creative, from lobster mac and cheese to a Thai version from East by Southwest. The overall winner was gazpachos with a southwestern twist on the old classic. Their winning dish included jalapenos, chicharrones, and a cilantro lime dressing. For more information on the Mac and Cheese Festival, visit the website at macandcheesefestival.com. After the break, a tamer version of the Four Corners Motorcycle Rally crawls into town, and then we'll unveil our new Furry Friends feature with the La Plata County Humane Society.
One of the things that we promise every guest at Durango Motor Company is one low price, plain and simple, always.
They can just come in, select the vehicle that they want, and already know the price up front.
Our salespeople here at Durango Motor Company are not paid on commission. Our guys and gals are actually paid on guest satisfaction.
So it doesn't matter if you're purchasing a car that's $4,000 or $70,000, their main interest is finding the car that's right for you.
Welcome to the Irish Embassy Pub Durango. We import the majority of our products straight from Armagh Oil, and let's get it right. You want your Guinness directly imported from Dublin. You want it stored at precisely the right temperature. And you want the pour to be a matter of taste and science. You want to pull with the patience and precision that it deserves. And if that wasn't authentic enough, you want to enjoy it in a pub where the shelves are stocked with 24 different kinds of Irish whiskey. Yes, you want the true Irish experience. Come visit us at the Irish Embassy Pub Durango.
They look like backwards tricycles, but the men and women who ride Can-Am Spider trikes say they love the freedom they offer with more stability than a motorcycle. And they're decidedly tamer. Then stay tuned when we visit with the Great Old Broads for Wilderness organization, a decidedly wild group of women.
Start your engines and enjoy the open road in comfort. The Durango Fairgrounds hosted Can-Am's Motorcycle Spider Rally. Owners from across the country came to celebrate the power of their Spider. Chaz Rice, manager of PR for Can-Am, gives an insight into what a Spider really is.
The Spider is a three-wheel vehicle. It has what we call a Y-frame setup with two wheels in the front, one wheel in the back. That really, obviously, you look at it, it's a very stable, safe vehicle, but it still gives you that exhilaration of the open road. We released our first model in the fall of 2007. It was one of those concepts in our engineering department to invent a street vehicle that's unlike anything else out on the road. And it took a few years of development, obviously. We did some research. We saw that there's something here that we feel that the market is missing. We have models that kind of span the riding styles. We have the RS, which is a little more sporty. We have the RT, which is more for touring. It has a nice large passenger seat. And then we have the ST, which is kind of a mix between the two of a sport touring model. The majority of the people at this event are riding, as much as 1,000 miles to come to this event, and you can easily do that in a day if you really want to on this machine because of the comfort.
It's so comfortable. It's like riding in a car with no top on it, but it's just like a car. It is just so stable.
To build a bond among riders, many rides from Telluride to the Four Corners were set up for participants.
We had a really long ride with Telluride. Out to Telluride, we did a nice loop. We did a ride up to Ouray. A lot of people also went to the Four Corners. We had a ride going out there. So we incorporate a lot of the different scenery that's here in beautiful Durango, and we really encourage people to go out. We have 20 plus people going on all these rides, and everybody's coming back just saying, oh man, the scenery is so beautiful, so beautiful. So Durango has so much to offer for our owners, and we're very happy to be here.
Now we have Shelley Silbert, Executive Director with Great Old Broads for Wilderness. They are a national wildlands advocacy group here with its headquarters in Durango. Great Old Broads celebrates its 25th anniversary this year, and your organization has a pretty interesting story, and I definitely want to hear the start of how you got the name.
Many people are interested in how we got this crazy name, Great Old Broads for Wilderness. And we had 5 women back in 1989 who went hiking in Escalante in Utah. And when they came out of their camping trip, they heard that Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah had made the comment that wilderness was of no value to the elderly and the disabled. And so they thought to themselves, well, we're all over 50 and we've been out here hiking, and we want to be a voice for older people who want to be in the wilderness, who believe in the importance of wildlands and all of the species that they protect. And they decided, why not form an organization, a nonprofit that could speak for wilderness and wildlands? And let's make it a little bit feisty. Let's show that we're older women and that we care about wildlands, whether we can get out there or not. We want to know that these lands are intact and there for our children, our grandchildren, and out into future generations of all species.
Oh, I like the feisty aspect, I gotta say. So you guys do so much. I mean, I know that you do several trips throughout the spring and summer. What kind of initiatives do you have coming down the pipeline?
Right. Well, we are, just to say first, we're a national organization based in Durango, which is highly unusual. We may be the only national organization that's based here in Durango. And we have a local broadband that works in the Four Corners on issues like off-road vehicle impacts on wildlands, grazing impacts. We're looking at wilderness designation and trying to support that through our congressional representatives. We are working on such things as carbon pollution, air pollution, those kinds of things as they affect wilderness and wildlands. We are forming a new broadband in Durango in addition to the one that we've had in the Four Corners, because we have a lot of people interested here in the Durango area.
I can imagine. It's very Durango. Durango, I think, in essence.
Absolutely. And we have a lot of retired folks in Durango interested in great old broads, but we're not just for those over 50. We also have younger women who we call training broads.
Broads of all ages.
That's right.
I love it.
And men who we call great old bros. So, but our roots are in grassroots activism, and we are promoting the involvement of individual citizens in public lands planning and management. And so we believe that it's our responsibility to get involved in our public lands. And here in Durango, of course, we all appreciate and love our public lands. Whether it's the forests, the rivers, the mountains, we want them to be intact and existing forever. So our organization is involving people here locally in various activities such as working on protection of Hermosa Creek and designation of wilderness areas there, working on off-road vehicle impacts, where ATVs are beginning to go all over the place. And there needs to be a watchdog organization that can get out there, get on the ground, and document where these problems are occurring. And let our public land management agencies know that, you know, this is happening. We want to be sure that this is legal. If it's not legal, we want to be sure that it's stopped, and we will show you, we will bring you the photographs and the documentation to show that.
Oh, I like it. And I like that it's very all-encompassing. I mean, you're tackling a host of different issues, so I'm sure there's never any shortage of things to discuss and issues to tackle.
That's right. Some of the things, for example, are more stewardship type projects. For example, we'll go out and we'll help to maintain trails, we'll help to get signs posted to show if there's an area that's being closed because of a particular wildlife species, peregrine falcons nesting, let's say, that the Forest Service needs some assistance with that. We also are hoping to get involved in the Durango area once again with pika net, so going out and monitoring where pikas are in the high alpine areas and getting that information to scientists and to land management agencies. That's one of the projects that the Durango Broadband is interested in.
Very nice. So for people who want more information, where's a good place for them to go to learn more about Great Old Broads for Wilderness?
Well, Great Old Broads national headquarters is located in our office on College and 7th, right across from the College Drive Cafe. And we also are available by phone at 970-385-9577. Our website is www.greatoldbroads.org. So those are all ways to connect with us. And once you connect with our national office, we can connect you with the local broadband, which is what we call our chapters, bands of broads, that is available in your area.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Shelley. We're going to be back in just a minute with our next interview from the Plata County Humane Society. Thank you. Thanks.
First National Bank of Durango, committed to our community since 1882, where our friendly bankers help you achieve your financial goals.
We put you first!
Stop by one of our 5 locations or visit us online at fnbdurango.com.
It's time for rejuvenation with luxurious healing waters, breathtaking views, and lavish spa treatments at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs. Stay at the new Ecolux Hotel and enjoy 24-hour access to our 23 unique pools by the river. Indoors, relax in the hotel and enjoy therapeutic services at the spa. It's time for rejuvenation at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs.
This Furry Friends segment is brought to you by the Plata County Humane Society. Help us, help them, one paw at a time.
Welcome back to Inside Durango News. I'm here in our new setup. I'm here with Chris from the Plata County Humane Society and Zeus, who's looking dashing in that bow tie.
He's
today.
very dashing.
So tell me a little bit about Zeus, because this guy is a lover, you can already tell.
Yeah, well, Zeus came to us about, I think, 6 or 8 weeks ago from the Farmington Animal Shelter. He was a transfer. We do a lot of transfers with those guys. He's about 4 years old, 65 pounds. He's a ladies' man.
Oh my gosh, he's won me over already, I gotta say.
Has, and he has a whole harem out in his play yard every morning. He's got about 5 or 6 girl dogs that pretty stoked with him. And he's great with other dogs. He's not so great with cats. We had him fostered out for the weekend, and he didn't hurt the cat, but he wasn't a big fan of the cat, so much.
Well, so he's one of the guys you guys have over at the Humane Society right now. So people that are interested and look like Zeus could be their new friend, how should they get in touch with them?
They can call us at 259-2847 or look us up on the web, lpchumanesociety.org. Best way is come down and meet Zeus.
Nice.
And you can spend time with him. If you come in the morning between 8 and 10, that's when our play yard's going strong. And you can see him interacting with other dogs and see how good he does there, and probably see him swimming a little and all that good stuff.
So we're not just talking about Zeus today, we're going to talk about dogs in heat. It's a 90-degree day outside. He's panting like crazy. So do you have some tips for how to handle when it's hot outside, what you should be doing with your dog?
Yeah, you know, the number one thing is probably if you have to go downtown in your car, leave your dog home. Right now, before I came in, it was 93 degrees outside. That temperature inside the car, even with the windows cracked, can quickly exceed 120, 130 degrees, and it can kill your dog very quickly. So it's not a good idea. So if you're gonna go somewhere that doesn't involve your dog going for a swim, if you have to go grocery shopping, whatever you're doing, you know, on a hot day like today, leave your dog home.
Yeah.
Another thing is I see a lot of people, it's great, we're an active community. We like to, people walk their dogs, but I see them in the middle of the daytime walking their dogs up and down the sidewalk and on paved streets. And, you know, if you don't think it's hot, you should take your sandals off for a minute and try cruising down the sidewalk. And these guys don't have the protection of a pair of sandals. It's their bare feet, and although their feet are tough, they really get hot quickly, and they can actually burn their pads on the pavement. So it's a good idea to keep them at home if it's too hot.
Nice. And if you do take them out, take them to the river, take them on the trail, in places that they're going to be comfortable and cool.
Yeah, and one other thing is, you know, this upcoming weekend is 4th of July, and dogs don't really like fireworks.
Yes, I have never met a dog that's really stoked on them.
And so it's probably a good idea, if you're not going to be home with your dog, maybe keep him in his crate that day, or in a secure garage somewhere, especially if he's near downtown where the fireworks are happening. And don't take him to watch the fireworks because he's not going to have fun.
All right. Well, thank you for those tips. And if you guys want to meet Zeus, you can head on down to the Plata County Humane Society. He is just a doll, so mellow. I think he'd be great with a family that's maybe got another dog for him to romp around with.
Right, he is a true gentleman.
A true gentleman.
And he even comes with a bow tie. So.
Oh gosh, that's awesome. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Durango News. For your community calendar, you can check out what'shappeningdurango.com. It's your one-stop, easy-to-use events calendar for Durango. I'm Ashley Dixon. Thanks for watching Inside Durango TV, and remember, keep watching. You'll like what you see.
Tune in weekly to watch Inside Durango News, your source for what's going on in Southwest Colorado. Powered by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs. You can watch Inside Durango News anytime at durangotv.com.